So after the mini beast from the east, apparently, we've actually gone kind of the other way. We're sitting at 15.5 degrees down in the shed, which means it's about 17 actually out in the garden. So yeah, that's pretty good, and pretty good for this, for actually doing some work out here. So I'm going to continue on with these. Now these have been drying for quite some time, albeit in the cold, but they are nice and solid. And now I want to make sure I've got a nice smooth surface all the way round, with a curve over at the top and bottom and a right angle at the sides. So that's what I'm going to work on now, and then I'll be able to do some veneer work on top. So I'm going to get on with that and then come back to you for the next bit. Because I'm going to be using some Gorilla Glue. I'm not too concerned about the fumes, but I still don't want to be sitting in a closed area with them. So I've already cut my veneer into rough size. And this is olive ash and this one is walnut. So I couldn't decide which one to use, but they're both got really nice figuring on them. Nice grain pattern. So what I've done is I've just put on some strips of masking tape to kind of hold it as it flexes, so that if anything splinters off as it's flexing, it'll be held in by the tape. The initial intention was to soak these, but I don't think I will, because it's still kind of too cold down here to get a decent finish on the soaked wood. I found that if it's too cold when it's put on, it takes way too long to set into place, even with Gorilla Glue. So I'm going to go for kind of a touch damp rather than a soaked, and hopefully I've rounded these over enough that the veneer will flex in the right way. I've also chosen to use the veneer on the wrong side. If you use veneer a lot, or if you watch people using large sheets of veneer, you'll see them do this, and there's a difference in the amount of bendiness in one direction as opposed to the other. Now normally the more bendy side goes on the inside, because of the way the wood is cut. That wood's not so good when it comes to finishing, but for this I think it'll be fine, because these are going to have a little bit of inlay done as well, and quite a lot of work on the finishing now that the weather is improving. So I should be alright with that. Now these are just about big enough to cover the top around to the bottom, with perhaps half an inch or so at the bottom edge here, which is fine because I'm intending to put a strip of leather on anyway to support the hinge. So I've got a sponge. I'm just going to chop off a chunk. Have a cup and some water. I keep water in the shed constantly for pretty much everything. I've got a couple of big bottles down here, but over the last couple of weeks it's had a good inch and a half of ice at the top. So I've heard of something called ice filtration, and I think this has been filtered quite quite well, quite a lot. this is as much finishing as I can do right now. When the weather improves considerably, I have a whole stack of things that need some spray lacquer, so I will add this to the stack and I'll give it a couple of coats, maybe 3 or 4, to get a decent thickness of finish on here, and that'll also help to reinforce this veneer slightly. The intention was to keep one and sell one of these, but one is completely unfinished and is unfinishable at this stage, and this one I wouldn't want to sell, so I'm going to keep this one as, this is kind of a talking point. This is the start of a process, I think.